Hey guys, thanks for tuning into my video. Today I just want to share a little bit with you about child advocacy and what that looks like. I wanted to mainly focus on a local organization that really interests me. It's somewhere that I'm looking to do an internship. It's called the Upper Valley Child Advocacy Center. They're located in Rigby, Idaho, just about 20-30 minutes away. And they're just this nonprofit organization that is incredible. So I went ahead and I called Bethany, who works over there as an advocate, and I had an interview with her. And we just talked a little bit more about the center and this organization specifically and what it looks like to be a child advocate over there. And so, as far as the working environment goes, it's very flexible. There are two different 6-hour shifts that people will work Monday through Friday. And other than that, um, there is always one person who is on call 24/7, just because the main people who bring clientele to the center are law enforcement officers or caseworkers from CPS, from the Child Protective Services. And so at times clientele can be brought in unexpectedly, and it's important to make sure there's always somebody there who can receive them. So for the most part, it's a very flexible working environment, and she said that the directors there just really want to make sure that all of their employees are taken care of. The clientele that they work with are dealing with very heavy things, and so at times it can be a difficult job for the advocates, and the directors are just there to make sure that everyone is doing okay and that their needs have been met. Um, Now, this is a nonprofit organization and it's funded by federal grants. So, because of that, employees don't really receive a lot of extra financial benefits, especially in terms of retirement. Specifically at this organization, she did mention that there is a medical stipend that each employee is given to help them with medical care. But really, this is just something that's like specific to their organization. I was looking around, and if you go to any other organization in Idaho, they each have their different types of insurance and medical care and retirement funding that they do give to their employees. And so, where this is a nonprofit organization, there isn't a ton of extra support, but if that's something that's important to an employee, then they can look elsewhere and find that here in Idaho. Some of the typical stressors of this position are really just centered around the clientele, because every client that comes through is a child and they're an abuse victim. Um, Bethany mentioned that it can just be really stressful to understand what the children are going through. And at times it can be stressful because there's only so much that they can do for their clients. And so she expressed that there are many times where she wishes that she could offer more to the children than she can. At times their resources aren't enough, or they just don't really have what that child needs at that moment to make it through the healing process. And so she said it's easy to feel like her hands are tied. And part of that is because as an advocate, they act as a middleman. So, really, their job is just to help direct these children or their parents to somebody who has the resources to help them. So, when clientele come in, children will be brought to meet with a forensic interviewer at the center. And while that interview is being conducted, the advocate's going to go ahead and sit down with the parents and explain the resources that are available to them and to their child. And then from there, they just try to help direct them to what is going to aid them the most in the healing process. Cases can last for a few weeks or a few years. It really just depends on the family and the child. And so advocates really, as a middleman, there isn't a ton that they can do personally for the children, and that can be difficult. In terms of educational requirement, most advocates just need a bachelor's degree, and honestly, getting a bachelor's degree in marriage and family studies is perfect. However, it can be helpful to go ahead and get certified as a forensic interviewer. Bethany, the advocate that I spoke with, she's also certified as that interviewer, and that has opened up a lot of opportunities for her to work on both sides of the coin, both with the parents and with the child directly. Here in Idaho, the average starting pay for a child advocate with a bachelor's degree is about $37,000. Um, However, after about 5 or 6 years of experience, it's not uncommon to see an increase in that, and child advocates can make up to or about $39,000. But it, again, really does just depend on the organization where you work. And so, even here in Idaho, we see some advocates that make up to $48,000 a year. And so, it's a career that does have a lot of room for growth. There's a lot of places that need the extra help. And what better way to be involved in this field than in helping those children directly? And so, um, I think this is an incredible career. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about it, and thanks for tuning in.